The Chicago Bulls taking on the Philadelphia 76ers today. Can the Bulls get a win again and piss off the Tankers? We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it for today, y'all. And man, the Chicago Bulls today, man, taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers have cooled off quite a bit this season. Which I won't say is unexpected, but you got to keep in mind this was a team that at the beginning of the season was playing some of the best basketball. I think they got as high as second in the Eastern Conference, if I'm not mistaken, at one point this season. It was early in the season, so we know how things can change and ebb and flow. Plus, the Boston Celtics got their shit together and got Jason Tatum back, so things like that definitely play a part into it. But, this is going to be a matchup, and we'll see what the Bulls can do with it. You guys know I'm not at the point where I'm predicting anything for the Chicago Bulls, win or loss-wise. I don't do that. I just want to see my guys come in and compete. That's it. Come out here, compete, and then we'll leave it all out on the basketball court, see what it is after that point. And that's really all we can do. I see why you say Sam Cassell looks like an alien. He just needs them toy buddies with him, and he'll be saying, Claw, go Bulls, always rooting live, and do or die like every Bulls fan. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I see another triple-double in Giddey's future. I mean, no shit. It's going to be a fun game regardless. Should be. I mean, listen, don't take anything for granted. We are the Chicago Bulls, and we know how shit can go very, very left for us, right? What's going on, Deanna? Glad to have you in the building. I want to see Jaden Ivey dunk on Jaden Ivey dunk. Is Jaden Ivey? He's not cleared. Bro, is it me or does Colin Sexton resemble John Gotti in the face? John Gotti. I think you was just high on. I think you were high on bath salts at that point. It's I think what happened. Isaac Okoro is returning today, but no Jaden Ivey and Colin Sexton. Just an FYI on that. Macy Dalen, isn't he signed to their G League team? Is that what it is with Dalen? He signed to the G League team. But, hey, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen today. I just, the thing is, and I know this is not what everybody wants to hear, and people are like, why isn't every Bull fan not rooting for losses and stuff like that? Like, when it comes down to it, all I want to see is the young guys compete. That's it. Josh Giddey, Monas Buzelis, Leonard Miller. I would just want to see those guys continue to come out here and get opportunity and just see what they do with it, win or lose, right? Same, Rob Dillingham to a different degree, but still Rob Dillingham, he still is a young player on the team. So we'll see. What's good, Haize? Hope you and the family are doing well. We're doing okay, Markel. I appreciate you asking about the fam, bro. What up, Drip? With news that came out last several days, does your personal view change on who's to blame with the franchise post-Tibbs and Pax error? No, my has always been the person running the day-to-day. Like, listen, Billy Donovan, regardless of if he agrees with AK or not, his coaching problems are still the coaching problems. But AK has always been it. That's why when people blame the ownership, I tell people all the time, ownership is less involved in the day-to-day than people give credit for. It's just they have the mandate, don't go into the luxury tax. It's AK that's running the day-to-day. So the product that we see on the basketball court is a direct result of AK and what he's able to execute. And so it's always going to be that. And the product of how we see things happen or don't happen on the basketball court, that is a product of Billy Donovan. I don't live in a world where everything's black and white and you can only blame one person. There's different levels of blame all to go around. When your franchise is as inept as what the Chicago Bulls have been for a decade, it's not just one person. Because guess what? As bad as it's been with AK, he ain't been here a decade, so everything ain't on him. What it do? I hope Ivy and Simons come back soon. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if they can. If they do, great. If not, we have to keep it pushing and do what we got to do. That's it. Bulls Nation loyalty. Appreciate you for being in here as well, brother. But that's just how I see it. Maybe that's too black and white for some, but that's just how I see it when it comes down to it. Like for me, when it comes to where this franchise is, not to say that the whole time has been all AK, like, but it is that to a degree, right? Like, for the Bulls to get out of where they are right now, it's going to take several changes. Now, maybe a head coach change can do that. Maybe a GM change could do that. Maybe changing the president, that's the role of AK. Maybe doing that, again, could do that. I don't know, right? But until you have somebody in that building that what they care more about than anything, what they care more about loyalty, what they care more about, fuck us, what they care more about, people's feelings. Until we have somebody that cares, that says, I will do anything necessary to get this team to be a winning team. Until we have that, ain't very much gonna change. Ain't very much gonna change. We'll get excited about somebody new, but if that somebody new is lazy, doesn't have the passion, doesn't care about winning over everything like Jerry Krause did, we're gonna be right back where we are in a few years. It's just the reality of it. That's just real. So, gotta see what's gonna happen. We got Vern in the building. Says AK gets most of the blame. I give Billy some of the blame, but majority of it goes to AK. Reminds me of Gar when people was at his head stabbing everybody else in the foot. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Is this a revenge game for both Dale and Harry? We cooked. That's hilarious. That's still one of Shay's craziest moments. That was a very crazy moment by Shay. Dale and Harry was funny as hell. That's funny. But with all the stuff going around about potentially Billy Donovan, I want to hear from you guys on this one. Who would you want if you can get any realistic candidate? So don't talk about Phil Jackson. Tibbs ain't coming back. If you can get any realistic candidate, who would you want to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bulls? I think it's pretty well documented for me. It comes down to being Chris Quinn. That's the guy that I would want to take over the Chicago Bulls is Chris Quinn. I wouldn't be too mad at Sam Cassell from a basketball X's and O's standpoint, but Lord knows I'm definitely roasting that motherfucker every time I can. Every time I get the fucking chance, I'm roasting the shit out of him. So that's just me. But Chris Quinn is the guy that I would really want to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bulls. I think he's a good option for the team. I think he comes from a good winning organization. He has connections to Chicago. He went to Notre Dame, and his first coaching job was at Northwestern, so he understands the city very well. Which, that's neither necessarily here or there, but just the fact that he does have natural connections to the city, that's a big thing there. I'd love Chris Quinn to be here. Taylor Jenkins, that's a good one. Taylor Jenkins is a really good option there. Not to be a homer, but Tiago Splinter been doing good work with Portland. Oh, yeah, Tiago Splinter's been doing really good. Been doing really good, especially considering, did they ever officially make him like the permanent head coach? Is he still carrying the interim tag right now? Is that still what's happening? But we shall see what's going to happen here. We're going to see what the future holds. This game tonight, I'm just looking for Josh Giddey, Modest Buzelis to continue their chemistry. I really do. Well, Isaac Okoro coming back. I hope he's not starting. Like, don't put Isaac Okoro. I'd rather see Leonard Miller out there starting personally. That's what I'd want to see. Taylor Jenkins or John Shire. I'm cool on the Shire, but I can't hate on Taylor Jenkins. Must be permanent since no, it doesn't have to be. I mean, as long as Chuck's gone, they can leave the interim tag there. And Chauncey ain't coming back. Yeah, did they officially fire Chauncey Billups? Hold on, let me look at that real quick. I just don't know. I don't remember. No, he's still not fired. Technically, Chauncey Billups is still the head coach. So, no, he is still the interim. Chauncey Billups has not been fired yet. He is still officially the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. So there you go on that one. That's crazy. Chris Quinn is second on my list if we can't get Taylor first. Okay. I mean, that's not a bad. Like I said, I understand the Tory Taylor, the Taylor Jenkins hire. I understand that. Definitely understand people liking Taylor Jenkins. I do think he could get very creative with us offensively, right? So like hiring Taylor Jenkins would be like hiring that'll be like the Bears hiring fucking Ben Johnson, an offensive minded head coach. Could be. Does it have the same effect? He was winning. What the hell is this? Shay says, just think about being Portland right now. You started out the season with a controversial scandal, and you lost your head coach. Now you have a chance to get in the playoffs when people counted you out. I mean, listen, but Portland was on that trajectory. Like, Portland's been making some really, really smart roster decisions, basically since they moved on from Dame, and now Dame's back there, right? But, like, yeah, Portland is doing it right. And they're doing it with a mix of veterans and young players and stuff like that, but they're doing it right. They're a half game out of the 8th spot right now. They still have a chance to get that by the end of the season. We'll just see what they can do in the play. And we need to be invested in Portland's season this year, because if they can make it to the playoffs, we get an additional pick, which is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. But nobody, and also to that credit, though, that nobody would have blamed or act like it was the end of the world if Portland had a bad season this year. Right? Like, if Portland would have had a bad season where it just didn't work out, nobody would have looked at them and been like, oh, my God, like, they had more than enough reason for stuff to go left. More than enough reason for stuff to go left. Shaden Sharp went down. They missed him with a ton of injuries, all that type of stuff. Dreaming is fun, but we all know it's going to be Billy. No, it's not. So why do people say that? But the Bulls have never hired a former G League coach to be their head coach. People keep saying that just because Billy Donovan's son was hired. And I get it that people probably mean it as jokingly or whatnot, but there's nothing to that. There's literally nothing to that. They've never gone from a G League. Now, I'm not saying that Billy Donovan won't eventually be on a coaching staff here, but he's not going to go right from that to head coach. That's not going to happen. Not realistic at the moment, but Ime Udoka has been a good coach so far in the NBA this season, maybe being the exception. I mean, there's still, wouldn't we love to have the Houston Rockets record right now? It's just the fact that they're in the West. I mean, you lose your point guard before the season starts. You already have young players trying to play off Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's never really been a leader. Fred VanVleet was supposed to be the kind of bridge between that. And, yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have a rough year after adding, a player of that caliber. What percentage will you put on Billy Donovan not returning next season? Because earlier outlets today, bro, why do you talk like you in a fucking interview, bro? All you had to do was ask the question. I still put it at a 80% chance that he comes back. I still put it at that. What about former player for head coach, like what the Lakers did with JJ? I mean, I could see them maybe doing that, but I the way the Bulls operate, probably not, right? Like, it would be an outside-the-box thing. But maybe. You never know. Never know. Is Jaden Ivey playing? No, Jaden Ivey's not playing. Jaden Ivey's not playing. We will all log the same amount of minutes as Jaden Ivey in a basketball game today. So, there you go on that one. But we'll see what happens. I don't want anybody to get their hopes up that Billy Donovan's leaving, though. I don't want nobody to get their hopes up. I want to be realistic about it. More likely than not, Billy Donovan's still going to be here. More likely than not, he's still going to be here. And I guess we'll just see what happens next after that. Like, the Bulls, either way, they got to make improvements this offseason, right? Like, I get it. The coaching storyline, the rumor that, Mark Eversley also could be out the door, all that type of stuff. We'll watch and monitor all that, and all that's important for the Bulls' future and their present for that matter. But the most important thing is that the Bulls get this fucking draft right. You got to get this draft right. If you don't get this draft right, like, it's going to, and I don't care where you pick at. Like, that's out of the Bulls' control. I'm not saying you better get in the top 4. That's out of our control. But you better get this, whatever you pick at, you better get the right guy. We cannot afford another wasted first-round pick. We cannot afford another wasted first-round pick. even with Leonard Miller looking decent, even if Rob Dillingham somehow wakes the fuck up and actually turns into an NBA player. You can't do that. Haize, this may sound crazy, but I would love to try Rondo as a coach. Well, I mean, then you hire him for your job. No, I'm just playing. I mean, have we known Rajon Rondo to show any interest in coaching? And I'm asking. I'm not even being sarcastic with that. I don't know. If he has, I literally don't remember. But you know, I mean, Rondo, Kirk Heinrich. Like, if you're just talking about guys that like have, I think, the IQ to be coaches. Yeah, Rondo. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm honestly have been surprised Kirk Heinrich hasn't gotten into coaching yet. I think Kirk could be a really good coach. Yeah, I wouldn't like. I can guarantee you this. Former Chicago Bull. I guarantee you Chris Dunn gets into coaching when Chris Dunn is actually done playing basketball. I guarantee you Chris Dunn gets into coaching. Chris Dunn, like, say what you will about him and his time here in Chicago. Chris Dunn is a smart basketball player. Like, if you ever gotten the benefit of hearing like Chris Dunn talk about basketball, he is a smart basketball. I would not be surprised at all if Chris Dunn gets into coaching. None. Haize, I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to be a head coach, especially not under AK and Jerry Reinsdorf. You talk about getting fired. And listen, I got them hands. You ain't finna do what John Paxson tried to do to Vinny Del Negro to me. You ain't putting hands on me. You're not putting hands on me. So I don't need you around. So motherfuckers get fucked up fucking around with Haize. Be like, hey, yo, Haize smacked the star player in the face. Yep, I sure the fuck did. He was acting like a bitch that day. We treated him like a bitch that day. Like, no, I wouldn't be smacking people, but I don't have the patience. Y'all see how it be going off. Y'all see how it went off on AK after the trade deadline. Could you imagine if I was the head coach of that team? I would have been in that press conference like, AK, when you get done, let me holler at you. They would have been like, oh, shit. I would have been like, oh, everybody got to die. Everybody got to die. You couldn't put me in a meeting with Jerry Reinsdorf because I look at Jerry and be like, Jerry, the fuck wrong with you, bro? But you a fucking goofy, motherfucker. Like, you goofy, bro. Yeah. So, no, I couldn't do that. I don't have the patience for it. Maybe after I turn 50, maybe I have the patience to head coach. But I ain't got the patience to head coach right now. No. Let's pull Phil Jackson's old ass out of retirement. First of all, Phil Jackson is barely even coherent anymore. Mr. Goods in the door. Nigga, Brandon, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, did you do a line of coke before you came into the live stream? What the fuck has you been on, bro? Like, real talk. What is wrong with you? Is everything okay at home? Is this a cry for help? You've been making them fucking crusty socks too much. Stop that. Put it down. You're going to put your eye out. Stop playing with it so much. Haize, you have convinced me again. Burries could be a good addition to this team if he's available in the draft. If some have him going as high as like 6, some have him dropping down in 9. Here's what I'm starting to gain from the mocks, and this is right now. It could change after the draft lottery when we know the position. But what I'm gaining from it is that they think either Keaton Wagler or Burries are going to fall. One of those guys are going to fall in this draft. And we'll see which one it ends up being. But I'm not mad at either one coming to the Chicago Bulls. I would not be mad at either one. Haize fighting people will be fun. Oh, listen. Don't even get me started on that motherfucker, because absolutely. People gotta die. Gotta die. Man. But all right, y'all, I got to get ready to chill. I appreciate y'all. I started the the pregame show a little bit early today because I knew I had to cut out early. But hopefully, like, we just see a fun game today. That's what I'll say. I'm rooting for a fun game, and we'll see what the Bulls do with it. We know that they're not going to try to lose every game, much to the dismay of a lot of pro-tanking fans. And I've had a lot of fun in the last 48 hours trolling pro-tankers. And here's the thing. People think that I'm picking on the pro-tankers. I'm not, but they're so easily trollable that it just makes it so easy. Like real talk, pro-tank, like an anti-tanker, you'd be like, oh, well, the Bulls are just going to maximize. They'll be like, yeah, but, I just really want to see my guys develop. A pro-tanker, you'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad that Modest Buzelis played. Why are you great that Modest Buzelis played great? Why are you rooting for that? Oh, my God. Everybody should be rooting for love. Like, they're just so easy to troll. And so then they feel like they're being targeted because they are, but it's because they're easily trollable. Like, again, an anti-tanker will deal with some adversity pretty fair, right? Oh, well, the Bulls lost one. Let's keep it going. A pro-tanker, though, man, they about as sensitive as motherfucking cow's ass, bro. This shit's weird. But all right, y'all. I love you guys, man. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.